Menu is directed by Mark Malloy and stars Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Nicholas Hoult. It tells the story of a young couple who travels to a remote island to eat at an exclusive restaurant where the chef had prepared a lavish menu with some shocking surprises. I heard a lot of buzz about this film last year during Oscar season. Never got a chance to see it in theaters, but once I saw that it was on HBO Max, decided to check it out there and give my thoughts on it. And to be honest, I really dug this film. I think it is a very well directed film in its themes and messages on how rich people can be corrupt and careless to other people. I thought that was handled much better than most other movies lately. Like there were plenty of movies the past few years where there's a lot of commentary on rich people and how corrupt they are. Sometimes it works, like in Joker, but in other movies it just doesn't really work. But overall, I think this film was able to handle these themes much better than most other movies. And I think it was able to have us relate to the characters a whole lot more in that regard. Especially Anya Taylor-Joy's character, Margaret, who is really good in the film. Despite not being my favorite performance of hers, she is still very pivotal to the role. And while her purpose at first may be questionable, the more you uncover things about her, the more you understand why she's in this situation, and she becomes more of an interesting character as the film goes on. Nicholas Hoult plays her boyfriend in the film, Tyler, who obsesses over the chef and is like a big fanboy. And he is good in the movie, but his characterization I felt was a little bit one note. Though his last few scenes in the film I think were some of the best he's done and showcases his acting ability pretty well. And very much is where his character really develops finally. Just throughout the rest of the film, he just felt one note. And in an understandable way, he's supposed to be solely focused on this entire event because he's been planning for this for so long. So it kind of makes sense for him to be kind of one note. But I just preferred it more when there's a lot more going on to him that Nicholas Hoult could provide in the acting chops. But definitely the standout of the film is Ralph Fiennes as the chef who serves all these rich people the dishes, and he's just really good in the film. I think this is one of his better performances in recent years, and it's just so good to see him in the film. I haven't seen him in a movie for quite a long time, not since No Time to Die or any of the James Bond films. It's really good to see him in anything other than just James Bond. But he is really good here. He gives a really menacing, unhinged, yet calm and collected performance. Now you just don't know what is going on through his mind. He gives a lot of elaborate speeches, and it does showcase how passionate he is in his art, and just how far he will go to basically uncover the truth behind all of these customers that he brought into his island. And the horror elements that come from that are really good. This is not like a bloody, violent movie. It's more so suspenseful, and it is filled with a lot of tension. And the violence only comes in to shock the audience and have them go back and be like, whoa, what just happened? And it's used very effectively, and it never becomes over-glorified like in some other horror movies. And I felt like I was able to balance the right amount of violence and the right amount of suspense very well to create a really well-made horror film that kept me on the edge of my seat, wondering what's going to happen next and how some of these characters are possibly going to die. And I love the directing in that regard. I think Mark Malloy did an excellent job directing the action sequences. This is also a beautifully shot film. The way they shoot the food especially is absolutely beautiful. The way they shoot this island was immaculate. This is just a really well put together and well crafted film that definitely had a lot of heart, soul, and care put into it. Especially with the characters, the cinematography, the directing, the music. I would say it's a little bit lackluster. It served its job for the most part, but I'm not going to come out of the film remembering the music. Also, there's probably a bit far too many characters that just come and go and you forget about them. But because mostly the standouts in this film were Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Nicholas Hoult as our main leads. And because the movie focuses a lot on those characters, I was able to enjoy the movie more so. But all the other characters, including John Leguizamo, they all felt like background characters to just serve the point of the story. And they do serve their roles very well, and they do give each individual good performance, but they are definitely nowhere near the same ranges as Nicholas Hoult, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Ralph Fiennes in the film. But they still serve their purpose in the film. Overall, I found the story to be very engaging, the characters to be really interesting to watch, the horror elements fascinating, and really suspenseful and tension-filled. This was just overall a really well put together film with a really good ending that would definitely shock you. And overall, I just had a really good time with this film, and if you haven't checked it out yet, I would definitely recommend The Menu. I'm gonna give it an A-. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.